Hi, and welcome or welcome back to T Tackles Goals. I'm T, and this is my channel where I document my goals as they relate to fitness, finance, and just personal development and overall wellness. So, this video is a follow up to my previous video where I gave a high level overview of my stay at the Canyon Ranch. So, this video will go into like just a little more detail about my personal experience with it and just five high level takeaways from this day. And I also have I'm a shopper, so I have a haul of all the things that I purchased from the ranch as well. So stay tuned if you're interested in hearing more about that. Okay, I have my notes here, so I am going to refer to my notes from time to time. But essentially, the overall program that I participated in, it was called the Integrative Weight Loss Program, and there were 14 services that were included in that program. I last time I kind of scrolled on their website to give you all the specific details of it. It included health coaching, a comprehensive laboratory profile, a DEXA scan body composition test, a bone density test, which is really important as we age, a personalized physician consult. I had two 50-minute long physician consults, which is unheard of. Basically, you get two 50-minute sessions to talk to the doctor about any concerns that you have and anything that you want to discuss with her or get more information on. She was there and available. Very patient, very nice doctor. Continuous glucose monitoring. That was really interesting. They you might see on the TV now. They have the commercials for those continuous glucose monitors that you attach to the back of your arm. And what you do is there's a corresponding app on your phone, and then you scan it, and it monitors your glucose so that you don't have to do finger sticks. So what I was able to do was to have that installed. I think they did that like the second day, and then you could literally monitor your glucose after you exercise, after you ate, and just get an idea of how your blood sugar responds to the various activities that you're involved in. I had a sleep screen, which was it was like a high level sleep screen, and it rules out like severe sleep apnea. And if you do need to have any follow-up testing done with like a full overnight sleep test at like a sleep center, then you would do that. An exercise assessment that was done in two parts. I had a healthy eating session where they went over some of my eating habits, a health coaching session, and a deep tissue massage. That was all included in the program. Um, I added on a balancing body treatment, and then I did a hands on cooking class where I learned how to make different kinds of smoothies. And so overall, it was a busy 5 days. Again, I did the 5 day program. You could either do it in 5 days or 7 days. So I did the 5 day program. So I did all of that in the 5 days. And they lay out the schedule for you. So before you even arrive, you have a one on one customer service person that schedules everything for you. They ask you what additional services you want to add on, and then they advise you as to what makes sense to add on to which day, etc. Because they have more knowledge of how the program will lay out. So overall, I would say it was a really busy day. If you add in also like dinner and other things that you're going to want to do, any kind of spa treatments. But I think for a person like me who had never been to Canyon Ranch or any of their facilities, I wanted to just take advantage of as much as I could and do as much as I could. So I felt like I was able to achieve that. So now I would go over my five top takeaways from the program and just five things that stood out to me. So the first thing I would say, and this is in no particular order, but the first thing I would say is that it's really important to monitor your numbers. So I think one of the things that was included in the services was like a blood draw where they looked at every aspect of your blood work, from your A1C numbers, your cholesterol, just anything that you can think of, um, for that could be monitored through blood work. They looked at your inflammation numbers, etc. And I think for me, that will be my standard going forward to ask my primary care doctor to check those same numbers, because there was things in there that I had never had checked before, such as the A1C. So going forward, that's something that I'm going to insist that my doctor does, and I think that that's important. So I think that was a really good takeaway, to really to have a good baseline of what things you should be monitoring in terms of your blood work. So that was one of the first big takeaways for me. The second thing that was important to me that I took away home with me and that I've been continuing is to keep moving. When I got there, part of the reason that I did to stay at the Canyon Ranch was because I was just not feeling well in my skin and just in my overall health. As I was getting older, there was just a lot, which is natural, a lot more aches and pains and things. But I was just getting to the point where I was feeling like I'm not sure how much of this is just age related or how much of this is just things that there's some other reason why I'm feeling this way. So there I was able, at the ranch, I was able to move more and move my body more. And I found that I actually felt better just by doing that. So that was something that it encouraged me to come home and to integrate that into my life outside of my stay there. The third thing is to take time to relax and be with nature. The first day that I arrived, I went into, like, they have a snack area where you can kind of get snacks when in between like the major meals of lunch and dinner. And I go and I sit at the window, and it's on a beautiful campus, nature, trees. And I went, it was the winter time, and this hawk swoops down like right in front of the window, and it was just really just that connection with nature that you don't get in your day-to-day life, that it just reminded me to be more connected with nature. And I would just say the scenery there and the environment there was just very relaxing. So that was one of the third things that I would say I took away, was to try to take time to be with nature and to be still. It makes a difference in your mental, and it really helps your mental. And I think for me, most of the time that I was there, for all the meals, I tried to sit by the window if it was daytime, so that I could take advantage of that while I was there. The fourth thing I want to say is, um, consistency. Uh, I realized that you can go away to these places and then you can do these programs, and why they are wonderful, and this program was wonderful, and hopefully one day I'm able to do it again, because I just feel like it was worth the money and it was worth the time to do that. But you also realize that that's like one moment in time, so you have to take that with you and use it as a motivator to continue to work on whatever it is you went to the ranch to work on. So I kind of tied that up under consistency. So you have to come home and do the work, essentially, and work on your goals. And you can't expect, there's not going to be a miracle and a change overnight. I've still struggled since I've been to the ranch at the end of February, but I also feel that it motivated me. So it's funny, like, I still struggle in a lot of ways with sticking to my goals with my physical fitness, but I also see that the only way to the goal is to do the work. So that's where I've been focusing on, and like I said, for me, my word that I've been choosing to use is consistency. So if that means going to my workout class twice a week, every single week, until I'm able to get closer to my goal, I just need to put my head down and do that. So that's just been my approach now, because I feel like if you consistently work on that goal, you will achieve it. There may be, I mean, you have to do checkpoints along the way to make sure you're not like just running into the wall, and you're not aware that that's what you're doing, like you're at a dead end. But so you want to do the consistency with checkpoints, and I feel in my heart that's going to be the key to get me to where I would like to be. So now I have a goal of, now December. This is August. the end of August when I'm filming this video. So for me, I want to see, I'm not going to wait until December, but I'm really hopeful that by the time December rolls around, I'll be in a good place. So for once, I don't have to close out the year saying, oh, I need to set all these new goals for the new year. Like I'm starting out behind the eight ball. I can actually start the new year with a momentum. So that's the goal. So the final thing that I would say, my takeaway from the ranch, is that you're worth it. This is a very pricey program when you take into consideration that it includes all of those services as well as your stay there. You have to get yourself there, so any kind of transportation cost that might be involved. I didn't take that lightly, and that was something that I really mulled over for myself in terms of whether I wanted to spend the money. And in the end, I have to say that it all boils down to feeling like you're worth it to make that investment in yourself if you can, right? So, but if you're really looking at the numbers and saying, I don't know if this is something that I want to undertake. I mean, that's understandable, and that may be something you need to plan for financially. But for me, ultimately, I had to decide that I was worth that investment. I was really struggling with my physical health and just not having some answers. So I have to say that coming away from the stay at the ranch, I had a lot more answers and things to help me direct myself. Like, okay, I could find out that, okay, I'm not pre-diabetic, I'm not diabetic. I do, with the Dexo body scan, I was able to find out my exact muscle mass, and that was actually pretty good because I am an overweight person. I was able to see that, okay, all the years that I've been a person that's worked out, even though I'm not at the weight that I would like to be, I have a lot of good muscle that I've accumulated by doing that work, and it was shown in the scan. And that's not something that I would see strictly by just looking at my body weight. So for me, that was a good marker to say, okay, you've done a lot of good work despite not being a size whatever, but you've done some work. You just need to continue to do the work, and then you will achieve your goal. So it was worth it for me, I would have to say, overall. And I'm happy I did it. And again, it was just very relaxing, a very friendly environment. I'm glad because I went by myself. I'm glad that I went kind of off season. So I went in February when it's kind of cold up in Massachusetts, Lenox, Massachusetts. It's cold and there's not a lot of people at the ranch. But for me, I think if it had been in season, I may have been a little bit overwhelmed. So it was the perfect, more laid back environment for me. So I had a good time. I hope I can go again. And that's all for now. If I think of anything else to share in later videos, I will do that. But I think this is all that I want to, all I can share right now in terms of my stay at Canyon Ranch. And I will follow this up with a haul of what I purchased while I was there. The first thing, as you can see, is this shower mist spray. This is lavender and eucalyptus, and you spray it in the shower and it let the smell kind of envelop you. It's almost like a bath bomb, a shower bomb, but in liquid form. So I've been using that. As you can see, the price tag is kind of worn off. So I've definitely been using that since I've been back. The second thing here is this Dream crystals box, which they have 2 crystals in there and give you all the properties of the crystals. And I thought that would be something nice to kind of keep on my nightstand. And I believe in all that stuff kind of brings a different energy, whatever you're hoping for. And that was $12 crystal set. Next is this leather. I don't think it's leather, but crossbody like wallet on the chain. Thought I can use that for when I hike or anything like that. It comes with a short strap and then also a longer strap. Really like the color. Next was the sleep meditations book. I struggle with sleeping sometimes, so I thought this would be something good to keep on a nightstand and be able to read to help me drift off to sleep when needed. It's really nice content, really relaxing content and sentiment. Don't mind my nails. Next is the Mindful Self-Compassion Notebook. I thought this was such a great idea to work on, since self-compassion is something that I struggle with and I know a lot of other people struggle with. So this was like, I think, $20. But thought it was going to be a useful exercise for me. So lastly, I will show you all the items just on my nightstand. So just to kind of show you how I would use them and how I plan to integrate them into my life. That is the end of the video. I would encourage you to like the video if you've enjoyed the content, as well as subscribe for future videos and future updates on my life post Canyon Ranch. Thank you.